Hi. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm so excited. So, I had dinner this evening with my son on the back porch, and we were talking about I'm trying to get a blog up and running and focusing on like the 50s kind of age group and what we all go through and how to definitely find the humor in it. And so, as we were talking, he's like, Mom, you need to make a YouTube video. I know, a YouTube channel. Create a YouTube channel. And I'm like, I'd love to do that. So and I really wanted to do that by myself, but I did end up having to ask for his help, unfortunately. But I'm so happy to be doing this. I in my 50s became divorced, changed jobs, went to grad school, just did all the things. And um somehow managed to survive it all and laugh about it and come out with a different perspective. And so my goal is to pay that forward to other people going through the same thing. And so just as a little hobby, I wrote a little ebook on Amazon, and it was all about my online dating debacles. And there were many. So I published that to Amazon just for fun. And I discovered I really liked blogging. So, and I want to do a little bit more writing. So, what I thought I would do is just introduce myself and read you a little excerpt from the book that I wrote, just on the ebook that's on Amazon. And I'm sure if there's anybody out there, especially women, that are on dating sites, you're going to relate because it's a mess. It's crazy. It's funny, scary. And the girls I worked with when I was on the dating site, which I'm not anymore, got a total kick out of it. And I always said, I have got to write a book about this. And they said, well, start blogging. You can do that now. So that's what I started doing. But here is one of the ones that was the most popular out of my little ebook. And I think it was the most popular because it's got a little sexual undertone, which I found that that's what you guys, shame on you, liked the best. But I'm just going to be honest here. And this was a real situation for me, trying to learn how to date again in my 50s. So here we go. So this is called The Walk of Shame. And it's exactly what the title means. And I just want to say, first of all, I'm sorry for the language, but I don't usually use explicit language when I'm typing or writing, but this was necessary. I had to prove my point. So, this blog is intended for me to share these experiences with hopes that it will be therapeutic for me and hopefully help someone that's going through the same situation. Please learn from this. I have found over the past, that humor and great music, that makes a difference, um, can help so much. So when you choose to laugh through a situation, instead of just getting upset and mad, because I was upset, but I chose to just kind of laugh it off, it really is freeing. So in the blog that it's just kind of still developing, I never know what I'm going to talk about until really life just kind of presents itself. And the range of subjects could be anything, and I mean anything. Um, I would love nothing more than to be able to make someone laugh. I got lots of stories to tell, been through a lot of different things, but it's made me stronger, and I know that there's other women out there and men that are going through situations that maybe it's just hard for you to laugh at, but you've got to find the humor in it. It makes such a big difference. I digress. But if this helps anybody and it makes you laugh, that's what my blog and my book is all about, then that's what I set out to do. So I feel like it's a success. When I was getting divorced, it was a tough year, of course. And so in this blog in particular, it says I am separated due to divorce. Papers are arriving in the mail any day now. We've had our arguments, and I'm sorry, my daughter is also in a transition, moving in and out, and then in, and then out again. And we've had our differences, not gonna lie, you know how moms and daughters are. But lately, she'd been a little bit disrespectful. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw her under the bus there, but she had been just typical teenager stuff. And so I had to just basically ask her to move out, which is very hard as a parent. My son, who was 15 at the time, well, he's a teenager. So that says it all. But really, my life is no worse or better than anybody else's. I mean, I'm going through the same thing everybody else is going through. We try to do the best we can with what we have, but I have learned that attitude, hope, and faith, and for sure 100% having awesome friends helps tremendously. Actually, it's really saved me. My friend Joyce Meyer, I wish she was my close friend because I totally love her and I feel like she's in my head. But anyway, she has said before in her lectures that you have to be happy with yourself because everywhere you go, there you are. And that's true. I mean, really, everywhere you go, there you are. So that's funny, but it's so true. And it has taken this past year of, let me just say, this was back in 2019, 2018, when I wrote this. It's taken a year for me to really feel like I know who I am. Oh my gosh. And let me say, when you're separating, please take time to be by yourself. Oh, that's so important. You learn so much about yourself. I'm not even lying. And you know what? It's pretty nice being by yourself. You learn to like yourself. You learn who you are. And sorry, man, I love men, but you don't need a man to make your life work. You don't. I got lots of stories to tell about that, how I learned that the hard way. But anyway, back to the blog that was posted back about my walk of shame. So that time alone is what I wanted and what I needed. And by the way, I'm sorry I'm lifting my glasses up like this, but no matter what type of glasses I get, started out as readers when I was 40. Now I'm 50 something. So now I've got these kind of progressive lens, which was very hard to get used to. And I'm getting used to them, but I still have to lift them up, so I apologize. And so, okay, to be honest, I swore I'd never do this, swore I would never get on a dating site, but I did. And not one, but all of them. And actually, I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but it became kind of like a research project. Maybe it's because I was in grad school. I don't know. I was focused on research, but I started out with one dating site and it was terrible. It was gross. It was pathetic. And so that was a free one. So I thought, well, you know what? Maybe the caliber of people will be better if I pay for a site. So I paid for one. Wasn't any better. So then I paid for another one. Same thing. So I learned pretty much they're all the same. I've heard of success stories. I didn't have one. Not even close. But I did try them all to give them all a fair shake. I digress again. But honestly, I'm not recommending any dating sites until you are prepared for anything and everything. And for me at that time, it was too soon. I needed time. I needed time to just be by myself, process and grow. And so I ended up taking that time, but I had to go through this online dating experience first. Okay. So in March of that year, I met a guy, not from the dating site, but one I had known from my past, like in my 20s. He was an old friend, never married, very successful, very handsome, and actually, he has threatened me that if I expose anything about him, his name, what he does, just anything about him, that he would bring his attorneys. He'd have his attorneys bring me papers to my work, and that he would manage to shut down my blog. So, first of all, I'm a professional, I'm a nurse, I'm a teacher. I'm not going to slander anybody. But for sure, this goes down in history as being my worst date ever. And I wanted to share it, and I hope that someone learns from it. So, I won't give any specifics about him, but I am going to share it with you. Okay. I think that it helps when you hear from other people's experience and you have to laugh about it, because I wasn't laughing that night, but looking back, I learned a lot, and that's what's most important. All right, so on St. Patrick's Day, it was a weekend. This man who I'd known from my past asked me if I wanted to get together for an evening. And from what I remembered all those years ago, he had great blue eyes, beautiful teeth. That's important. Beautiful teeth. And he was very successful. He made a really good living. Still single, no kids. And for me, this was like hot dog. I got a night out. I'm going to drive and meet this guy. And yeah, I was excited about it. So I drove out of town to a hotel where he was staying. I know. That sounds terrible. I went to a hotel and I drove to him, which he should be driving to me. But I did it anyway. I was just ready just to get out of the house. So I met him at a town hotel, and our initial hug was a little bit on the cool side. I expected a little bit more of a warmer embrace, but not so much. That's fine, whatever. I'm going with the flow. I got my stretchy jeans on. I washed my hair. I'm having a good hair day, which I'm not having a good hair day right now. And I'll just tell you, this video is coming at the end of me working in the yard all day. But I am telling you, this was very important for me to do this right now because of the conversation me and my teenage son had earlier. Okay? So just go with it. I'll clean up better next time. I'll look better. And yeah, so just bear with me. So I meet this guy at his hotel. Well, not his hotel, but where he's staying. I got my stretchy jeans on, and I'm not wearing leggings, so that's good. My hair looks good. I even put some perfume. And so I'm happy. I'm good with it. He gives me a glass of wine. I admit I do like wine. Okay, so he gets me a glass of wine. And we're having some conversation, but he's never really like asking anything about me. Like he's looking at his watch, Rolex watch. He's looking at his watch. He's kind of looking around, not really into me. You know what I'm saying? It's just a feeling I have, but my intuition is usually pretty good. So we're talking a little, and all of a sudden he makes a comment about the waitress's butt. And I'm like, huh? He says, I think she's lost a little bit of weight. I don't remember her butt looking that good. And I'm like, really? You're with me? You're going to talk about another girl's butt? And that's when I should have grabbed my purse and ran. Get your purse, get out, go home. This is not worth it. But I didn't. I just brushed it off. We finally ordered some food and along with another round of drinks. And the food was really good. That was the best part of the night, unfortunately. But all of a sudden he started complaining about just random stuff. Like people outside working around the hotel, they were noisy and they were keeping him awake at night. And I'm like, okay, I can't stand negativity. When someone starts talking negative, I'm just like, okay, it's a huge turn off. It's a Debbie Downer for sure. And I don't like it. So I told him, just calm down. And he's like, I know, I need to calm down. I'm going to have to take a blood pressure pill. Now, I don't mean anything by this. I'm just goofy, silly, and inquisitive. And just, I don't know if it was just natural for me, just thinking maybe I'm at work. I don't know. But I said, well, what other medicines do you take? And he said, again, I meant nothing by it. I'm just having conversation. And he said, looked right at me and said, none of your, I don't know if I can say this without getting in trouble, but none of your effing business. But he said the whole word. And I just sat there looking at him like, did he really just say that to me? Barbara, grab your purse and get out. Go. Run. But I did. I let her roll off. We later met at the hotel dining area and walked to, we left the hotel dining area. I'm reading this from my blog. And walked to a nearby bar. Because Lord knows we hadn't had enough to drink yet, okay? And the entire time, he was walking about 3 steps in front of me. Not beside me. 3 steps in front. No hand on my shoulder. No hand on my waist. Nothing like that to show that we were together. And so by this time I'd had too much to drink and grab my purse and go. So I was in it. I'm walking down the street with him. And so here we go, another bar, another drink. And people that know me know I'm pretty fun loving, a little goofy and silly. And so I was just trying to make the most of it. And at least I thought, hey, I might get some sex tonight. I mean, maybe, Um, I know that sounds bad, but it'd been a while. So, and at this point, I didn't even care. So I started picking around and joking with him and trying to be, just kind of lighthearted. And I don't even know what I said, but all of a sudden he flipped me off and said, F you. And I'm like, why am I still here with this douchebag? And so fast forward to the next morning. Okay, yes, I ended up staying the night. I'm so ashamed. But nothing happened, unfortunately. He had too much to drink. You know what happens when men have too much to drink. So it was just my luck. Anyway, here comes the walk of shame. I'm a 50-something-year-old lady, slipping out of the bed just as quiet as I can be, getting dressed, real quiet, so I don't disturb him. And I happen to look over and I see the Jimmy John's sub that we shared last night. And I am freaking starving. So I'm like, I'm taking the damn sub, okay? So I shuffle down to the valet. This poor guy, he's scrambling to get my car. My hair's a mess. I mean, clearly I just rolled out of bed. Boots aren't even zipped. I got my boots on, but they're not zipped. And I'm shoveling this turkey sandwich in my face from Jimmy John's. And I'm thinking, why? Why did you stay? You're so much better than this, Barbara. I mean, why did you give him any of your precious time? I didn't have an answer. I think I just maybe was a little infatuated about the possibility of maybe rekindling something from the past. He's successful. Those eyes, that smile, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. But he does not know how to present himself in front of a lady. Even if he was not interested in pursuing this further, you don't talk about another person's anatomy in front of someone you're with. And certainly you don't walk 3 steps in front of them or use the word like it's your job in front of a lady. I beat myself up all weekend for allowing myself to stay with him. I made a promise to myself it would never happen again. So these were my lessons learned from that one night. Do not drink to the point that you can't grab your purse and get away. Do not drink until to the point that you can't grab your purse and get away. It is not appropriate for someone to talk about another person's body parts in a perverted way in front of you. You need to save that for the locker room. And someone that cares about you will walk beside you and probably even hold your hand. The right person will not roll their eyes at you like you just said something stupid. They'll lift you up and encourage you and make you feel special in every way. So ladies, oh my God, please don't settle. Please don't put yourself through what I went through. And I know I'm old-fashioned, but I still believe that chivalry is not dead. There's good guys out there. And if I could do that part over, I would have grabbed my purse and left. So good luck to you, all of you out there on dating sites or meeting people, but just remember, people will treat you the way you let them treat you. My first video. Thank you.